trade deadline is over. And ladies and gentlemen, the Houston Texans have made a trade. Yes, everybody was clamoring for a trade, and a trade was made. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of The Lead. Your host, as always, Harley Dugan. There was a trade made by Nick Caserio today. For the longest time, we thought there was going to be no moves from the Houston Texans. And in today's NFL trade deadline, where you had teams in the AFC decide that they are going to push themselves further and try to, go after the Kansas City Chiefs and go after legitimate contention in the AFC. We saw numerous trades happen, and we thought, man, the Houston Texans are not going to make a trade. And long and behold, at the buzzer, bang, Mike Breen voice style, the Houston Texans make a trade with the San Francisco 49ers, and they traded away Khalil Davis for a 7th round pick. I'm not very excited. This is the gig is up, okay? The joke is up. The Houston Texans, yes, did trade Khalil Davis, a solid depth piece on the defensive line, to the San Francisco 49ers for a 2026 7th round pick. Okay. The Texans did not do anything in this trade deadline. And look, it was already said that they weren't going to do anything. It was already said by myself on this channel via Jonathan Alexander, the Houston Chronicle. He said that the Texans weren't going to do anything. But, as fans want and hope for something to happen, hope that, a change could be made in the next 24 hours following that tweet of his and that article of his. And he was absolutely right. The Houston Texans were not going to make a trade. They're going to stay pat with what they are. They are signing a few of the guys from Dollar Tree and Dollar General and the dumpster dive that they went through when they grabbed a guard and Tremont, I forgot, Ankrum Jr., who actually did sign to the practice squad today. Okay, that's cool. The Houston Texans are going to stay pat with the offensive line. And that, to me, is the biggest issue, is that the Texans' offensive line is extremely worrisome. And we all knew that the Texans weren't going to make a move. We knew this. The Texans are banking that the 5 guys they have currently play better football. That's literally all they have to do, is play better football. You got a guy in Laramie Tunsil who is a Pro Bowler, borderline All-Pro according to his opinions. You got a left guard in Kendra Green who flip a coin and see what happens. Jarrett Patterson might be your left guard for this upcoming game against the Lions. Who knows? Your center, Juice Scruggs, 2nd round pick, showed some flash last year for you. Pretty much did okay last year. Was hoping for a leap this year. Hasn't been the case. Right guard, Shaq Mason, really solid right guard. Always played good for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Played well for you last year. This year, hell of a regression. Not so good. Right tackle, Titus Howard. Been okay. He's been decent. But kind of worried around why the Houston Texans gave him that extension. I don't really like it. Don't really know why they gave it to him. What has Titus Howard really done in the Houston Texans uniform besides being misutilized on the offensive line, i.e. throwing him at left guard? I don't know what the Houston Texans, I don't know what their overall plan is. But ultimately, we know that the offensive line is not good. Opposing defenses know that this offensive line is not good. Defensive coordinators know that this offensive line is not good. And until something changes, you should be expecting the same old, same old. Expect stunts. Expect blitzes, heavy blitzes, and defenses are going to try to force you on 3rd and longs. It has been successful. The pressure rates have been high, especially the last 3 weeks. And then it's not, coincidental that the last 3 weeks CJ Stroud hasn't played his best football. This isn't good. The Texans did not make a move, and it was pretty much written on the wall they weren't going to make a move. And it's just kind of head scratching right now, just trying to figure out what they're going to do moving forward. What's their future going to look like? How are they going to beat the Detroit Lions this Sunday is a big question mark for me. And this offensive line is the biggest worry right now, unless they just somehow play better. I mean, they have the talent on the offensive line. It's very confusing to me how much they've regressed as a whole. I didn't expect them to be playing like this. I was hoping average to good offensive line play. That's just not been the case. Texans have to change some way, somehow on the O-line if they want any chance in competing and making a deep playoff run this year. As always, guys, go Astros, go Rockets, go Texans. You have a blessed day.